Hello and welcome to the Import-Export Hub channel weekly newsreel. Bogdan here, your host for the next couple of minutes. Happy New Year to all of you, by the way. And yes, I know we are already in 2022 and that I'm a little bit late with the news covering the last 2 weeks of 2021. Guys, a lot of things happened in those last 2 weeks, so please make yourselves comfortable, hit the like and the subscribe buttons, I don't know, increase the speed of the video if you want, and continue watching this video. As usual, I'm maintaining the tradition of asking you a quiz question at the beginning of the video, and given the context, in this video I'm going to ask you something related to Christmas. So the quiz question is the following. Who was the largest importer of lightning sets, those used for Christmas trees and decorating the home in the world in 2020 in terms of value? And here the options are the United Kingdom, Germany, or the United States. And the correct answer, guys, is the United States with almost $479 million worth of imports. So there you are. Now you know who is the largest importer of lightning sets in the world. And I'm imagining that now you are able to sleep better knowing this extremely valuable piece of information. And I'm kidding, of course. But anyways, following up on some topics, the first one is related to the dual fee in the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. And well, it comes as no surprise to hear that the port of Los Angeles just postponed the dual fee until January the 10th. And frankly, I do not know why I even bothered to follow up on this topic. For me, at least, it started as a very promising idea. And I don't know, with the 7th or 8th postponement already, I think I will skip this one from my coverings. And the other follow-up topic is related with the number one shipping company in terms of existing fleet. And here, guys, after 10 or I don't know, 10 15 years, Maersk is finally dethroned and replaced by MSC. So basically, Mediterranean Shipping Company is the new number one shipping company in terms of existing fleet, as the last 2 weeks of 2021 brought a lot of presents for MSC. And I don't know if you remember, but I predicted that Mr. Ponte is preparing something really big for Christmas. So stay tuned and you'll find out what Santa brought to Sorrentov, the CEO of MSC. Now, moving on to the Freightos index. Well, here there is not much to cover, as the end of the year is usually quiet in terms of freights. And the chart tells us just that, as we have the last value at $9,293, a slight decrease from week 51, with both the Trans-Pacific and the Cross-Suez head hauls indexes slightly down. So not that much volatility, no big movements, nothing really interesting in terms of freight. So guys, let's dive into the news here, and I will begin with the first one coming from Splash 24/7, and it's about the acquisition of a 67% stake in the Logistica by MSC. And just for your info, Logistica is a Brazilian regional container shipping company operating 6 fully owned vessels with a total capacity of almost 15,500 TEUs. With another 2 vessels on order, these last 2 vessels having a combined capacity of about 6,300 TEUs. As for the transaction, well, Logistica was valued at just over $500 million. So basically, with a 67% stake, I'm imagining that the transaction is somewhere around $340 million. And guys, you might think that Santa will stop here with the presents for MSC. Well, think again, as Santa's sled is a high cube type of sled, if you want, and there was room for yet another present. And with this, I will move on to my second news coming directly from Bolloré website, as Mediterranean Shipping Company offered to buy Bolloré Africa Logistics for $6.4 billion. Here, the Mediterranean Shipping Company has an exclusivity period until March 31st to submit a put option, and the closing of this sale of course, will require obtaining regulatory authorization and the approval of the competent competition authorities. Basically, the other Bolloré Logistics units and Bolloré Energy are not part of this deal. And guys, with this move, MSC is increasing its presence in Africa, especially on the western part of Africa, with important assets in terms of port and rail terminals. And of course, let's not forget about the thousands of square meters of warehouses. So there you are, the battle, if you want, for Africa and South America just to reach another level. And if you ask me, guys, the cash-rich shipping lines will continue to expand their businesses in 2022 in these parts of the world, especially if they are looking for investments in port and rail infrastructures. Anyways, guys, enough about MSC Christmas presents. Let's move on and let's take a look at what others received from Santa. And my next news is related to the trendsetter, as I like to call it, so Maersk, who is taking yet another step in order to provide their customers integrated logistics services, as they've announced their intention to acquire LF Logistics, which is basically a Hong Kong omnichannel fulfillment company with some 10,000 employees and some 223 distribution centers spread across 14 countries in Asia and Oceania. And guys, if the regulatory bodies will give the green light, the acquisition will formalize sometime during this year. And until then, these two companies will operate separately. So there you are, guys. While Africa and South America are very, very interesting for the shipping lines in terms of assets like terminals and port concessions, in Asia, they are looking for investments in value-added activities like these fulfillment centers. And we have no info about the value of the transaction, but I suppose we're speaking about a couple of $2 billion. And anyways, the value is irrelevant. I'm sure that the investment banks did their valuation, and for sure Maersk has the cash. And guys, I think I've covered enough the Christmas shopping spree, and I think we're ready to move very, very quickly to my next three news, which I think are worth being mentioned here. And the first one concerns the Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund and its plans to invest at least $10 billion in the ports around the United States East Coast. And the idea here is that the whole project is quite secretive, as the parts managing these investments didn't comment at all. We have lots of speculation about the exact ports, so not that much to tell just yet. The next news concerns the European port of Rotterdam, who at the end of 2021 became the first European port to handle 15 million TEUs. Thanks to its infrastructure, thanks to its digitalization capabilities, cargo mix, and of course, let's not forget about the fact that Rotterdam is a hub for some of the biggest companies, shipping companies in the world. And for comparison and just for your information, guys, Shanghai, who is the largest and busiest container port in the world, handles about 44 million TEUs, which is almost 3 times more than Rotterdam. And the last article, guys, coming from Freightos.com, which is a really, really nicely done one with interesting data plotted in 10 graphs from, shipping stocks and container spot freight rates to ships waiting for LA and LB berths. And as a bonus, here you have an interview, I think from October with, if I'm not mistaken, with Lars Jensen, who is an industry expert, which despite the inherent bias, I highly appreciate sometimes. And anyways, I highly recommend you to read all of them if you find some, some interesting topic. This is all for today. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Thank you all for watching. And guys, until next time, as usual, keep your business safe. Thanks.